MMA Rants and Raves, UFC 114, John Hathaway versus Diego Sanchez. Let's talk about this fight. First round, you basically see Sanchez going for many takedown attempts with absolutely no success. He just couldn't get Hathaway down. Hathaway too big, too strong, too skilled with the takedown defenses. Then at 240, my goodness, a crushing knee from Hathaway to Sanchez. He just landed right in the head. I mean, his head just popped back. It was like a slingshot effect. It was just sick. It sounded sick and it looked sick. And I said, wow, this is a knockout. There's no way he's going to be recovering from that. So he basically just hit the mat after that, and anybody would. And then you see Hathaway with pure English fury and venom just go for the jugular. He just ran after Sanchez and he got on top, started with ground and pound, raining down, hammer fists, elbows. I mean, he was just relentless. And this guy really goes for the jugular. It's a 22-year-old kid. I mean, this guy, you know, he's really, really aggressive. And it was kind of interesting to see. So basically, for the rest of the round, you just see him relentless. Although Sanchez was very good in his guard, he was trying to defend some of it. And credit to Sanchez, this guy is a super, super tough guy with just a granite chin, because you saw the beating that he took against BJ Penn. I mean, I don't know how he survived that. Just look at the end of that fight. It looked like he had a bullet hole in his head and he was still standing. So you got to give Sanchez credit for just being a really, really tough customer. So he took a lot of abuse in that first round, and that's the way it ended. Second round, finally 3-12, Sanchez gets a takedown, but it was too close to the cage, and it seemed that Hathaway was using the cage to prop himself back up and to give himself balance and position to get back up and force it back into a stand-up game, which is what he wanted to do. You know, he's a talented striker. He had the better reach on Sanchez, the bigger guy, and he was just outclassing Sanchez as far as standing up. He was landing a lot of strikes. He was landing some leg kicks as well. So, you know, he showed a lot in this fight. In the third round, it was just much of the same. And you see Sanchez trying to be more aggressive, but he just couldn't get anything going. It was just Hathaway's reach, his superior striking skills. He couldn't get Hathaway down. Maybe it was a strength or technique issue. And people are saying that it may have been not a wise decision for Sanchez to step up to welterweight, because let's face it, there's a point I want to make here. And that's not just because maybe he's just not big enough to be a welterweight. The point is, there are more opportunities in the lightweight division for Sanchez. I see the welterweight division just being more competitive. You have a lot of very good fighters there. I mean, just think about it. You have GSP, you have Josh Koscheck, you have John Fitch, now you have Alves coming back. I mean, that's a really tough division. Now, if you look at the lightweight division, of course you have BJ Penn, and now you have Edgar, you know, of course Florian, but, you know, besides that, it's really not, you know, like you have in the welterweight division. Welterweight division seems more competitive. Now, Sanchez said that it's too much for him to step down, maybe to get to 155, it's hard on his body, and that's understandable. I mean, I totally agree with him on that. If it's a health issue, then definitely, you know, he should think about maybe staying at welterweight. But if he was just doing it as an opportunity, I mean, I don't see how it's an opportunity. In my opinion, I just see the lightweight division being less competitive than the welterweight division. And here's another reason. I think if Penn is able to defeat Edgar in the second fight, he may still move up to welterweight. So then the lightweight division gets even less competitive. So, I mean, that's the way I see it, especially since Sanchez has had a lot of success in the lightweight division. It's just that he ran into BJ Penn, and that happens to everybody, well, besides Edgar. But that was also a very close fight. So it remains to be seen. I don't know if this guy is going to stay a welterweight. And, of course, you got to look at this kid Hathaway. I mean, this guy, he's a Brit with a lot of fury and a lot of venom. I mean, he is a tough customer. He looked really good, only 22 years old, 6'1", good reach. He has good footwork. His striking, his boxing was sharp. His takedown defense was really good. And his counter-striking was good as well. And he was also good with his guard. He did get taken down, and he did well in the bottom. He was able to get back up again. He's a tough guy, also physically strong, very well-conditioned athlete. So, you know, this is a really, really good fighter. And I would say one more victory, and you know, he may just be in the mix. I was impressed with his performance. I mean, this kid John Hathaway is really something to look at. So it was an interesting fight. I'd like to know what you guys think about it. Please leave your comments, let me know. Rate this video and subscribe, and thank you for tuning in.